Kia ora team, welcome to a day in the life of your talent agent. Today was super busy. Alexis is on leave on Monday, so she doesn't work Monday, and I'm covering the base by myself. Wow, what a day. So my day starts at 5 o'clock because I'm based in Perth, as you know, and I really didn't stop until 9:30 for breakfast, and then 1 o'clock for lunch. Full on day. So that translates to being started at 10 o'clock in New Zealand, and breakfast, or my first meal of the day, was at 2:30, and then I finished at 6 o'clock your time. Huge day. So the most important thing, or the most interesting thing, not really the most important, but I think the most interesting thing that I did today, which I hope will be of value and interest to some of you, is in dealing with people who live outside of main city centres. So I was going through my WhatsApp messages and reaching out to people that have contacted me and shown an interest in joining the agency, but we don't have their profiles yet. So I was just checking in to see how they were going. And one lady had told me that she hadn't set up a profile because they are no longer in Queenstown. They've moved up to the Bay of Islands. And they weren't sure if they could still be part of our agency. And then I had another lady who had messaged me, and I had missed that message back a couple of weeks ago. And so I was reaching out to her, and I noticed that she is based in Whangarei. So both of these people are looking for opportunities to be on production and to be in film, but they don't live in the main city centres. And that can make it tricky because casting teams really want to know that they're casting locally unless they're working with a bigger budget, or if they're looking for actors, then they will pay for travel and accommodation, or maybe some TV commercials might be looking outside of the scope of a smaller area to find the right people, in which case they will also pay for accommodation and travel too. So what I said to these people living north of Auckland is that Auckland ideally would be your city location, and if they wanted to be considered as ex-Auckland, then that would need to be reflected on their profile, and they could put their suburb as Whangarei or Bay of Islands, and then casting would consider them as ex-Auckland, and we would not lose them on our filter when we filter our people to find people for Auckland. The only condition, or the understanding that goes with making Auckland as your base when you don't actually live there, is that you do need to have a base in Auckland. So you need to have whānau or friends, someone that you can stay with in Auckland and be able to jump in and stay at their place anytime. So if you were booking for a production that's filming long term and needs you to jump in for a fitting first, then you would have to be sure that you could be in Auckland for your fitting. And that would be a minimum of 2 hours, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, but on average you're paid for 2 hours plus overtime. So that might mean that you've got to drive down for the day and have your fitting. And you might only get a couple of days' notice for your fittings. It could be that you have to come down it is that if you get selected and booked on set, you have to be in Auckland the night before your shoot day, because you don't know what time your call times are going to be. They could be 6 o'clock in the morning, which doesn't give you time to drive down and then also have a 10+ hour day on set and get home again at the end of the day. And if you have consecutive shoot days back to back, then that's not going to work. You need to be based in Auckland or wherever your city location is. Okay, so yeah, basically I said to them, you can be ex-Auckland, but A, you have to have somebody close by that you can stay with, and B, you have to understand that the transport isn't paid for. So your travel to Auckland to get to set or to get to your fittings is not covered except for whatever you're being paid for your day. So it can work, and lots of people do it. We have people that come up from Rotorua to Auckland, from Tauranga. I haven't got anybody from New Plymouth that comes up, but they do come up from Hamilton regularly. So it just depends on where you live, and that same thing applies whether your base would be Auckland or Christchurch, Wellington or Queenstown. Wherever it is, you just need to make sure that you can get to that location before your shoot day. Okay, hopefully that's answered any questions for anybody that might be living outside of main city centres and would like to be involved in casting in the city. Talk to you soon. Ka kite anō.